Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? My name is Rob Carmona, and welcome back to another episode of Rob the Mic. I want to start this episode off by wishing you guys a very, very happy new year, and I hope you guys had a great time ringing it in. I know for myself, I did something a little bit different that I haven't done in a while, and it was nice. It was really, really nice to get out. I think 24 for a lot of us was a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and you always hear that shit, right? It's like, oh, this year had a lot of ups, a lot of. It's like it's very general what you hear, but for myself, it really was. It was super roller coaster. There was nothing flat about it. And I've definitely had my years where things have been a little more not like chill, but it's a little more linear. And the last couple years haven't necessarily been the greatest. They haven't been the fucking worst. I mean, I've experienced some really fucked up shit. So like there's always that, right? I think we will all experience certain things that hit us a certain way, but landing to where I have right now, I don't think it would have been possible not having experienced any and all of those things. So New Year's Eve, I was very, very just kind of in my head, reminiscing, thinking, kind of going through the whole bit. It almost felt like how I felt on my birthday and how I feel on my birthday, and like leading up to that, where I start to think about things, and it's like, okay, what are we gonna do? What are we going to do? Like, how can we change things? How can we make things better? So on and so forth. What can I do for myself to make things easier? All of that, right? And last year, as rough as it was, like, there's nothing I would do to change any of that. Like, even the bad shit that happened, because all of that kind of put me where I am right now. Like, every single decision that I made, like, there's nothing that I regret at all. Nothing. For my personal life, relationship stuff, professional, like I don't regret anything. Nothing. And we've talked about regret quite a few times on this show, and it's something that I like to bring up. I do. I like to bring it up because ever since I read what I did about regret, I'm like, fuck, that's incredible, because it's the truth, right? Like, we never know. We make the best decisions with what we have, and that's it. There's nothing else that we can do. There's no other forces or anything that could have contributed to something going different, because we're assuming the decision that we're making is going to be what's best for us. And even if it's not, how do you know that the other decision was going to be any better? Who knows if that shit would have been worse, right? Maybe they were both fucked up and you were like, well, I'm going to just go with the least fucked up. We don't know. So that's kind of how I chalk up 24, as it was more of get my hands dirty, figure certain things out. I had to fall quite a few times. And this is where I'm at. Like, 25 is more of a year of me trying to get things grounded out. And I'm like, okay, I have my stones down. I know where I need to step, at least for right now. I can't speak for the entire year, but right now, at this exact point in time, I know where I need to put my feet. I know where I need to go. I know what direction I'm headed in for multiple aspects of my life. And I think that's what brings me some peace right now. Like, I'm not very stressed about the year. I'm not very scared, to be honest. Like, there's nothing that's coming at me that right now that I cannot handle. I know that I have it. Now it's just trying to make time, figure things out, and make sure that everything is where it needs to be. And then from there, I can kind of take my steps and move forward as needed. But even if they're very small steps, they are still steps regardless. And that's what I have to keep telling myself, is like, it doesn't matter how big, it doesn't matter how small, just keep pushing, keep moving, and keep that kind of that momentum, right? Even if it's very small, doesn't matter. Forward is forward. And that's what I want all you guys to remember too, you know? So let's jump into last week. I told you guys I had a couple things going on. Mainly, I had Calico on Sunday, which was exciting. I was going to close out my year with an off-roading trip. And honest, dude, it was so good. It was so fucking good. Like, I needed it. I needed to get out of town. I needed to go see some wild shit, get into situations. And like, I couldn't ask for anything more. Honestly, I had a great group of people with me. Love the guys that were there. And there's something special about Calico. My only gripe about it is how fucking far it is. It is so far away. I'd say it's about maybe about 2 hours ish, maybe a little bit more. but it's far. You know what I mean? It's like, you just drive. So we get there, chill out with the homies. Everybody links up and we're like, okay, so where are we going? Get everything straightened out. Go to hit the trail. And it was great. It's the whole day. And honestly, I had taken my camera, right? Like I always take my camera when I go. And I was like, I'm going to shoot. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I ended up not even using it. I never took it out of the bag. It stayed behind the seat. And it was the best thing that could have happened. You know, I charged my batteries, took everything. I was like, yeah, we're going to get some content. You know, I'm going to get some flex and get some different shit. Shoot this, shoot that. Didn't shoot a thing. I used my phone. I shot a couple things on my phone, which is cool. Stoked about that. But I ended up driving a lot of the time, which was rad. We had a new guy that came out with us. And it was a trip for him because he had never done things like that. He's familiar with off-roading, like, you know, dirt bikes and like Baja type shit, like doing dunes. But rock crawling is very, very different. And it can be very aggressive and it can get really crazy really fast. So for him, he was the shortest wheelbase out of all of us. He had a 2-door Jeep. It was like a 90s Jeep, like a little Wrangler. Super sick. It was done up really nice. But it was very new to him. And we were all kind of like, damn, dude, this is going to be interesting for him because a lot of the pieces that are there, especially because we were going to be doing the trail, like we're going to do it through and then we're going to come back the same way that we came in, which depending on what trail you're hitting, that can definitely lead to some interesting times because if you're really steep coming up, you're going to have that same shit coming back down, right? So if you're not comfortable being off axis, if you're not comfortable with like really steep, like, how would you say, like descent or incline, anything like that, I would probably shy away from Calico because Calico will definitely put you through it. If your vehicle's built a certain way, like if you can flex out and just get over shit, you don't mind getting over boulders, you're not going to have a bad time. Like it's a great time to get out there and it's fucking beautiful. So 10 out of 10 recommend. But again, if your vehicle might not be built up a certain way, and you're just not into that type of shit, don't go. Like 10 out of 10, do not recommend. Like go the other way, hit up some other fire trails, or there's other trails that are out there too that you can go to that are a lot less aggressive than the main trail that's there. So yeah, there's some side notes for you guys. If you're into wheeling, take those into consideration. But anyways, we get out there and I went with my brother Sebastian and he ended up having to spot the guy that was in front of us. And granted, it's not like, oh, it's something that we have to do. Like we love spotting people. That's the whole thing. Like it's okay to ask for help. And honestly, we would rather get you through the trail safely with minimal damage to your vehicle. And honestly, so that you can feel confident in doing what you're doing, right? So if somebody can guide you, you know that the person is going to take care of you. And Sebastian's killer at that shit. So he ended up spotting. I ended up having to drive his Jeep, which was rad because I had zero plans of wheeling that day. And I didn't take my personal vehicle out there. But, I mean, I didn't take it out, not because I don't think it can do it, but I honestly don't think out there, especially, IFS is not, like, I wouldn't recommend it. I would say more solid axle, go have a good time. IFS, you can do it too. I'm not saying it's impossible. You just got to be really fucking careful because it is very, very different. The type of flex that you get out of either or is very, very different. It's not the same articulation. So keep that in mind. But that's why I didn't take my personal vehicle. But again, I didn't think I was going to be doing any driving. Figured I was going to be passenger princess. I get out, do some shooting. And that's the main reason why I didn't get to shoot. Because I had to drive. And it was the best thing in the world that could have happened. Like Sebastian immediately was like, dude, you got to drive. You got to wheel. And I was like, let's go. You know what I mean? Anytime I can, I fucking love it. And I also love driving his Jeep. Like, I don't know. I was never a big Jeep fan. But then again, I had never driven one until Sebastian and I reconnected. So I'd just been nothing but Yoda for years and years and years. Me personally, the friends around me, they've all had Yodas. I didn't know anyone that wheeled that I was close enough with that had a Jeep that I could say, oh, you know, do you mind if I, you know, hit this obstacle or whatever it may be? Or even just to be in one to experience how Jeeps are. And it doesn't make sense. If you've never been in one that's built, or honestly, if you've never been in one in general and you've never gone off-road, go. I would recommend it if you're curious about it, because they will fucking blow your mind. They don't make sense how they move. On any sort of like solid axle vehicle, if you're going to be out and about, it will change your fucking life. Change your life. And that goes for, even old school Toyotas. If you've never been out in a solid axle vehicle, get out and you will understand why so many people end up going that route over IFS. So that's a whole other conversation. I don't want to get too heavy into that, but it was a great fucking time. And what I love about wheeling, and I know I've told you guys this before, especially with the wheeling that I end up doing with Sebastian and like the other homies that are out there, is I can't think about anything else except for the shit that's in front of me. Because if I don't pay attention, I'm going to flip over. Like, it's that fucking simple. Like, I'm going over boulders, I'm leaning, I'm fucking flexed all the way out, I'm coming up an obstacle, I'm literally about to be climbing shit that's fucking just about as tall as me. So I can't think about any shit that's going on. I can't think about family shit. I can't think about relationship shit, my work, any stresses, anything like that. My only concern is what's in front of me and what I'm doing at that exact moment, and listening to my spotter, whatever they're telling me. Hey, come driver, come passenger, whatever it may be, come forward, slow down, back up, whatever, anything. And that's my favorite fucking part. I can't think of anything else that I do that I don't wander off in my head. Like, even when I'm shooting, I'll be out and about, and so, I can focus on my subject, and I focus very, very heavily on my subject, especially when there's a certain car that catches my attention, or if I'm shooting a couple, or whatever it may be. I'm very, very focused on my work, and that doesn't change. But I feel like it's such a short amount of time that I'm in this like really heavy focus zone, and when I'm out wheeling, I could be in that zone for hours. It's not even like, I'll come in and out. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you can kind of let up a little bit and you don't have to, I guess, focus as hard, because you're kind of moving. When you know what you're doing, you're fine. But for me, at least, like, I pretty much stay in that zone. Like, I'm here, I'm wheeling, I gotta pay attention, especially if I'm driving. If I'm not driving, it's a different story. I can kick back and I can think about shit a little bit. But even then, it's kind of hard, because a lot of this shit that we end up doing is really aggressive. So I'm getting like tossed around in the cab, or I'm having to stick my head out and be like, okay, you're clear here, go more driver, whatever. Or I'm having to run out and spot. So I can't really focus on anything else. That's why I fucking love it so much. And it's so funny, dude, when people ask me, because I'll send them pictures of what I do in situations I've gotten in, and they're like, how do you like this? Like, how do you like looking at the sky? Like, you're in a fucking car, you're looking at the fucking sky. Why do you like that? Or you're literally like down there on your side. Why do you like that shit? And I said, dude, there's something about being in situations of like controlled chaos that brings me peace. And I know that sounds kind of like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you're canceling each other out. And it's like, no, dude, because there's something so crazy about the situation, but it's so controlled. And we do our best to keep control of that situation. To say, hey, as long as you put your wheel here and this wheel here, come slowly. When you're coming down, this, we can control it. Right? And it just, again, it requires all of your attention, all of your focus, all of your energy into those moments. And I like that. I feel like for a second, I have control of something. Real control, not like a little bit of it. No, like, I have full control of the situation. And if I fuck something up, it could be really, really bad. So I have to fully dive into it. And that's what I love about it the most. And the fact that I got to do that so close to New Year, it was the best thing I could have asked for. So I got to enjoy my day, step out, step away. And it was sick. It was so sick. Like, I loved it. It was a great, great trip. And we're already planning our next couple that are going to be coming up, which I'm also really excited about. So we got some good wheeling coming up. It'll be a good 25 for sure. At least in that aspect, for sure. But after that, like, waking up Monday, I was super beat, but I said, you know what? I was in a good spot. Once I got home from Calico, I got home a little, not super early, but a little earlier than I expected. So I was able to get in some more work. And I was actually able to step away. Like, I had some work to take care of. It was very, very light. Very, very light. So my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I got to just kind of kick back. And I don't get to do that. Like, it's very fucking rare that I've caught up on my work or I'm able to step away. And it's so crazy because I think about like my days off, and I don't necessarily have days off. If I have a day that I'll have time, I'll fill that time with something. But when I look at the calendar, there's not something that's just like not there. Like, shit is always there. And it's like, fuck, dude. Times like this is when I miss working a 9 to 5 because my calendar was very, very different. You know, I had my set times for work. I just clocked in, did my thing, came home. That was it. I didn't bring work home. I didn't do shit, right? I have my after stuff that I would do, like my personal projects, which was cool. But I feel like that sort of structure is really nice. So not that I'm saying I want to go back to that, but there are aspects that I miss about it because I feel like at least I was able to breathe a little bit more. And I knew when I could breathe. Like, I knew after a certain time during the week, I was going to be breathing. And my weekends, I was going to be breathing. Like, it was cool. And now it's just the polar opposite. So again, it's rare that I get to step away. And I told you guys, I'm going to see what I can do. And I was able to make it happen. And it was really fucking sick. And even for this, right? Like the cast, this week and last week, they're coming a day late. And it's fine. Like, I told myself, not a big deal. I wanted to take my time. I wanted to be able to enjoy my time off, kind of chill, whether it was with family, with friends, whoever. And even just for myself, because like I don't make time for myself. I don't do what I want to do. It's like things that I have to do at a constant. So when I have these moments that I'm like, all right, I need this right now, I'm going to do that. And with this project, as much as I love it, it is still a part of my job. It is still scheduled in. I still have to edit. I have to set up all my equipment, get everything ready. Like, it's a whole process. And most people know, especially the ones that are around that are close to me, they know on certain days, they know when I record, they know what times I'm recording, they know what's going on. And it's like, I'm not going to get a response until Rob is done. And it's okay, you know? But I wanted to step fully away from this and just chill out. And honestly, I needed it yesterday. New Year's Day, without a doubt. So New Year's Eve this year was a little bit different. And it was nice, again, going into it after Calico because things were kind of hectic at home. And it's not necessarily what I wanted coming into the new year. But shit happens, family happens, life happens, you know what I mean? And you can't really shy away from it. Whether there's like tension, whatever, it's just, sometimes you got to write it out. And this is one of those times that like I had to write it out. But I told myself this year that I was going to go out. So it doesn't matter what's going on. I'm going out for New Year's. And I remember talking to Sebastian and he's like, bro, we're going out for New Year's. I don't know what we're doing, but we're going out for New Year's. So we ended up going out with one of our homies, Kieran and Jesse, which both of us, Sebastian and I, have known them since middle school, which is rad. So these are homies that go way the fuck back. And it's cool to have these moments where it's like, sick. Now we're going to go have New Year's. So we went to their apartment and then we ended up going to this little, it's like a jazz bar and it's called Baby G. It's in Long Beach and it was a trip. It was a fucking trip. Like, I've been there before and it's really cool. It's really mellow. They usually have live music. It'll be like, you know, just a little jazz band kind of getting down, doing their thing. So I was like, yeah, it sounds like a great time. You know what I mean? Let's ring in the new year. Just kind of take it easy type shit. But at least be out. Let's have some cocktails, have some laughs, you know, that whole thing. And so when we get there, it's packed up. And the DJ was fire. They're playing a bunch of like 80s up to like old school hip hop in the 90s type shit. So I was like, dude, this is a vibe. Like, I'm here for it. And it's a pretty small, quaint little bar. It's like a very like shotgun style. So if you guys know what shotgun style is, it's basically like, it's very long. It's very thin, or like, how would you say? It's not very wide. You know what I mean? So it's small in that aspect. Like, it's not a wide spot, but it goes far back. So it's very like shotgun style bar. So it was packed up. It's cool. We're sitting there, you know, we get our drinks. And then it was funny because the band starts playing. And at this point, it's packed. It's just like a fucking can of sardines in there. It's just people on top of people. You can barely walk. And I'm like, dude, this is going to low-key be a little miserable. But I'm still here with the homies. We're going to have a great time. It's all good. We found a little spot right on the bar top. So we got lucky. And man, when that band started playing, holy shit. It was so bad, y'all. Like, it was so bad. So bad. Bad enough that, I kid you not, about half the damn bar cleared out. People were like, what the fuck is this? This is shit. Like, I can't. It was like being in a really bad, low budget horror film. The music had me just stressed. There was nothing chill about it. Everything was like crazy. Nothing made sense. It was saxophone playing all over the place and clarinet and all this bullshit. And I was like, oh my God, bro, I'm losing it. I'm trying to like have conversations with the homies. These fools are over here blowing horns and doing all this and bullshit. Nothing makes sense. There's nothing chill about it. And it's not even something that you could enjoy and just kind of kick back and listen to. Like, you couldn't. It was crazy. And again, people were fucking dipping out. Bar cleared up. We had hella space in there. And I was like, all right, cool. The DJ would play. More people would kind of show up. Shit would get packed up again. The band would start playing. Shit would clear out again. So it was hilarious. It was the fucking funniest shit in the world to see. And it's like, at first, we were like, yo, dude, they're probably doing this shit on purpose. That's like a crowd control type thing, you know? But, I mean, some people were stoked on it, but they were also blitzed out of their minds. So it's like, I don't even think they knew what the fuck was going on. But, God, man, it was interesting, for sure. I had to walk out of the bar and just go chill in the street for a while because I couldn't handle it. Like, I was just fucking sensory overload. Like, at a maximum, turned up to fucking 12. I could not fucking deal with it. And I was like, you know what? It's moments like these that I wish I had. Like, they make these like earplugs. They're called loops. And there's a couple people who make them too. But loops are the ones I can think of. And they're basically like sensory earphones. And what they do is they allow you to go to like music festivals and just be around like really loud music. But it lowers the decibel at like which you hear it at. And now they have even more advanced ones. Before, they had some that are just like fixed, and you put them in your ear and that's it. And it lowers it by, I don't know, let's say 15 to like 25 dB, depending on how your ear is shaped and everything and so forth. And they made little inserts that you can lower it even more. But they have these digital ones now that you can adjust like how much. I'm like, man, if I could have had even one of them in my ears, like, that would have been so helpful. And I was like, because I just couldn't. It was so funny. And I remember walking out of the bar and the bouncer is like, dude, are you okay? Because I was just like there. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on in there? And then he just started laughing because he knew exactly what I was talking about. He's like, dude, I don't know what's up with the band, but like, they're on some shit tonight. It's because it sounds like someone's dying in there. And I was like, yeah, man, it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad. And the people that were waiting in line were just like, dude, is this going to be like this all night? And I'm like, well, they've been coming on and off, man. So, but yeah, it looks like they're going to be here all night. So it was a trip. It was a fucking trip, but no regrets. It was a great time being out. I loved being with the people that I was with. Got to have our drinks, share some laughs. One of my favorite things was like walking back to the homie's apartment because it was a good little walk, and just like recording videos and taking pictures and just bullshitting like that. Like, I miss doing shit like that. It was never like the party shit. It was always like the stuff that happened after, right? Like going to eat or just doing literally anything and just capturing all the moments when everyone's already, for the most part, pretty lit. And we didn't drive that night. We ended up getting an Uber there and back, which is cool. And because at first we were kind of chancing it, and I was thinking about, well, maybe I'll just drive and like, you party. And he's like, no, fuck that. Like, we're both going to have a good time. And I'm glad that we did that. It was the safest thing for us. It was the best possible thing. And what tripped me out is I didn't see as many people out as I thought I was. And I mean, we were outside of downtown, so that probably has a lot to do with it. Like downtown Long Beach, because downtown Long Beach is a completely different story. Like, I'm sure it was a shit show over there. So all the bars, all the restaurants, they all kind of do something for New Year's. And not that they're all kind of like open door type shit, but it kind of does get like that on New Year's, right? Everyone's partying, going from here to there, and it's a mess. And we were kind of up from there, I guess you could say. So it was nice, but a trip to see that it was a little on the quieter side, on that side of town. But fucking sick. And New Year's Day yesterday, it was a little rough when I woke up. Like, I wasn't super hungover, but I was like, oh man, we got some work to do. So it was cool. Like, I fucking loved it. Loved every second of it. So next year, I guess we're going to find out what we're going to do, try and start doing some planning, whether we want to travel, whatever, but we got some time. So I'm not too worried about it. But again, I had a great fucking New Year. It was dope to ring it in a different way, be in a good environment, and just have like good vibes. That was something I told myself. I want to ring in this year different. I want it to feel good. I want it to feel right. And it did. It did. I'm like, this is it. This is the fucking ticket. I needed this for my diving board, like I wanted to jump off of something good into something good. And that's what it felt like. And that day, like yesterday for the first, I have certain rituals that I do. And like I hit them. I hit every single one. And that was fucking sick. Like, I slept in, did my thing. I was able to go and shoot. Like, I told myself, I know that I was stepping away from work, but I did have one thing that I could not walk away from. And it was going to Cruda Cruise. That's out in the South Bay. Love going to this event. It's New Year's Day. And it was fucking rad. And I got to shoot one of my all-time favorite cars right now that I've seen. And the last time I was able to catch it, I caught it on video for Venice. And it's like a 1970 Camaro. Brown, has a bunch of pinstriping work done by the homie Malix, has a super sick roof, and it's fucking sick. The owner's name is Mijo. He's a really cool cat. I just posted pictures of it yesterday, actually, for New Year's Day, and it was the best possible thing I could have done. Like, if I would have just went to this event and only shot his car, I would have been the happiest fucking camper. The happiest camper. Like, that's it. But of course, I got to shoot a couple other ones, which was sick. But his just, dude, that was it. So I did get to do some work yesterday, or I had to do some work yesterday. I did, and then I had to, because I shot that, which was fucking great. And being out there with a little hangover, I was like, this is bringing me back to life. Like, I needed that sun, needed to, get the blood flowing a little bit. So that was sick. Got to come home. I already had a set that was edited for yesterday. So I was like, okay, it's first of the year. It's got to be a heavy one. And I wanted it to be wheel-based, or at least something focused around a wheel, because Wheel Wednesday. And I was like, man, but when I shot his car, I shot Mijo's car, I said, fuck. I got a new set. I guess we're not posting the other one. So the other one can wait till next Wednesday. I needed something fire. And I wanted to show you guys something cool, right? Because it's like, that's a lot of why I do what I do. Because I just want to show you guys cool shit. That's it. I'm like, yo, I love this. I got to share this. Or I love this. I want to share that. And it was just right. It was right. I'm like, why would I not do my New Year's Day post with a heavy ass build like that? It was a must. I could not fucking do it. So I'm glad. And thank you guys for all the love on that too. All the shares, all the comments, anything, any way that you interacted with that post. Thank you, because I was not expecting that at all. At all. And it's always really fun. Like today I got to sit down and respond, go through all the comments, go through all the story shares, and just kind of hit everybody up one by one. And I'm like, yo, this is wild. And it's sick. Very, very humbled. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And, another part, a tradition I have for myself is I always have to have a fire dinner. At least one meal. And usually it's my dinner. But it's got to be fire. Because that's another one. It sets my fucking vibe for the year. Like, what are we going to eat? Yeah, I mean, I don't cook. Like, if anything, I'll make breakfast and I'll have like a fire breakfast, which is cool. And I did have a fire breakfast yesterday. But I was like, there's got to be something. Whether it's like a burger, pizza, fried chicken, a sandwich. Like, I don't know, but it's got to be something insane. So I said, you know what? The vibe is chicken. Fried chicken is just it, right? When I was watching TV, I had seen some Wingstop, and I was like, it was an option. There's this other spot that's kind of close to me in Paramount that my heart was set on. I said, I'm gonna go. Check through on their app. Everything's cool. They're open, whatever. Google said they're open. I get over there. These motherfuckers are closed. So I said, damn. Fucking chicken gods are trying to kill my vibe right now. New Year's Day, what kind of bullshit is that? I was like, nah. So you know what I did? Y'all? I called out and I said, Ricky Rose, I know you got me right now. I know you got me, son. I know you got me. So what did I do? On my way back from my spot in Paramount, I was like, I'm going to stop by Wingstop. Let me see what's up. Boo. Of course. Lo and behold, lights are on. People inside the restaurant, smiling, laughing, having a good time, having their fried chicken, their wings. And I said, Rose, you got me. You got me, son. So couldn't be more thankful. I was able to have my bomb Wingstop to start off my year. And it was perfect. Perfect. I got lemon pepper and garlic parm because, I was still recovering. So I couldn't get too crazy. I got to keep it chill. And I was like, okay, let's go with some benchmark flavors. Got me that. Got my papitas. Got my ranch. The best ranch on the planet, in my opinion. So I was good. I was fucking good. It was a beautiful dinner. And I was like, yeah, this is it. This is a vibe. This is how I want to close out my fucking day. This is it. So I couldn't fucking complain. And before I knocked out, I was just like, man, I gotta think a little bit. I gotta think about my intentions. I gotta think about what I want for the new year. So I wrote down a little list and I want to read it to you guys. So, and these are just things that either I want to practice or things I want to be a little bit more aware of, or just intentions. These are things that I want for this year. And who knows, maybe I'll come up with some more as I'm telling you guys. But as I was thinking, these are the things I wrote down. So 1 is to be more present. That's with my friends, with my family, in the moments that I'm in, to not be on my phone, to not be thinking about other bullshit that could be affecting me. Just be in that moment, because I'm never going to get it back. I saw this crazy statistic and I was telling my mom about it. And I said, I came across this stat that said the odds of you being born, like you have more of a chance of winning the lottery than you do of being born, like living this life. And that kind of stuck with me because those odds are so fucking high. It's insane. Like you're basically never going to win. And we have the chance right now because this is our life. This is a life that we're living. And I want to be more present about it because I feel like a lot of the times I get stuck into these other fucking places, or I'm thinking about shit that somebody said, or a text that I got, or things I got to do, whatever. And the moment passes me by and I'm like, I couldn't even be there, dude. Like, what the fuck did you do? You missed this whole thing over some bullshit. So that's my thing. Like, I want to be more present. That's a big one for me. The next is to make more time for myself and say no to shit I don't want to be a part of. I honestly do not make enough time for myself. I'm constantly doing things that other people would want me to do or they want me to be a part of. And I'm very thankful that people ask me and they want me to be a part of certain things, whether it's birthdays or celebrations of some sorts or whatever. Like, I love that. I love giving my time to the people that I love and care for. That's not the issue. But I don't make time for myself and things that I want to do. I really don't. I put everything for me aside. And I want to make that the first thing right now. That it has to be. And also just saying no to shit I just don't want to be a part of, right? Whether it's like family stuff or whatever. Like if I don't want to fucking be there, I'm not going to be there. Your boy's out. He gone. Don't even ask. Because if you're going to get it, you're probably going to get a response. You're not going to like it very much. And it's okay. Shit happens. But I got to do that for me. I got to protect my peace. Because nobody else is going to put my peace above theirs. Right? You can be considerate of people's peace, but you're still going to prioritize your own over somebody else's. And that's cool. That's how it should be. We should be prioritizing ourselves. We should be putting ourselves first. Because if we're not good, we can't take care of anybody else. You know what I mean? The third thing, which kind of goes off of what I was just talking about, is prioritizing my happiness. Because like I was just talking about, I'm always putting other people before, regardless of me. Like I'm sacrificing my happiness for shit like that. My time. And I got to stop that. I got to be better about it. If I'm going to do something, it's because I want to do something, not because I have to do something. If it genuinely makes me happy, I got to make time for that shit. I got to do it. If I want to spend time with these people because it makes me happy, I'm going to do that. If I want to go eat this food and make time for it because it makes me happy, I'm going to go fucking do that. And I got to be better about it. For sure. This year is a year for that. Without a doubt. Next. Invest into the people and relationships that invest into me. That's a key one for sure. I feel like I keep pouring out my cup into other people's and they don't have any sort of desire or fucking care to fill me back up. They don't want to pour into mine. So I end up sitting here just fucking empty. And it's like, they're all happy, everything's great. And I'm just completely depleted, right? Like I don't have anything. And I wonder why I feel exhausted. I wonder why I feel tired all the fucking time. You know, and I was just talking to my therapist about this on Monday. And she's like, dude, it's just because you're in a state of like fatigue. You're not just tired. Just like tired is one thing. Tired is when you can get some good sleep and then you wake up feeling good the next day. When you're in a state of constantly just feeling exhausted, there's multiple like aspects of that, right? There's multiple reasons why you're feeling that way. And I feel like a lot of it for me, aside from my work, is that I'm constantly pouring into people, places, things, whatever, that don't put back into my cup. So I gotta be a lot more cognizant of that and realize, oh, hey, you know what? This isn't it. Or for this year, when I get things from these people or so-and-so hits me up, maybe not put so much effort. Maybe not. Just kind of push that aside. Let that shit go. So if you're not going to pour back into your boy, I ain't got time for it. And I want that for all of us. So I want everybody who listens, everybody who watches, I want you guys to be aware of that type of shit. Pour into the people who pour into you. That's how it's got to be. That's when people do that type of shit for you, it's because they love you. It's because they care. There's something there that they want to make sure you're good. Because they're good and you're good. You know what I mean? So everybody kind of, you move about life like that. Everyone's full. You know, and that's a beautiful thing to have. So doing some restructuring, you know what I'm saying? So I know where, what, who, you know, all those things. I know where all my time, where all my love, where all those things are going to go. Another thing is I want to make more time to wrench because I don't do it enough. I don't work on my cars. I don't work on my truck enough. Like any of my projects that I have, the homies, it's hard for me. And I want to make more time for that. Because that shit makes me happy. It does. Like this weekend I have, one part of it is a job that I'm going to be working on. But I'm going to get to do some wrenching too. So it's exciting. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's what I need. That's the shit that makes me happy. So I'm here for that and need more of it. So more time to wrench. And another one, more time to cook and bake. Because I miss that. I used to dedicate so much time to it and I haven't in a very long time. And I feel like those things bring me so much peace. Because that's another one. I'm not trying to compare it to wheeling in any way, but I have to focus on what I'm doing. Right? Whether I'm cooking, whether I'm baking, whatever it is. Like I really have to focus on it. So I can put all my energy, put all my love, put all my everything into it. So it can come out fire, whatever it is. Whether I'm baking a cheesecake or I'm making some sort of pasta or I'm, grilling something up, whatever. Like I want more time for those things because I miss doing them. And I also want to do those things more with the people that I love. because that's my favorite. Anytime I get to grill with the homies or cook with the homies, like, I can't tell you how many times one of my favorite people to cook with is Rob. And when he and I get in the kitchen, it is the fucking best. It's just the jams playing, it's us laughing, drinking, having a good time, and everything gets made with so much love that it's so fire. It doesn't matter what the fuck it is. And we've had moments, dude, where shit like is either burned or it's gotten fucked up or something, right? And it's still fire. We're sitting there just laughing because it's like, dude, this is tight. You know, it's not even about the food anymore. It's about the memories. It's about the laughs. It's about these moments that you share with these people that you're going to carry for the rest of your fucking life. And when your homies have kids and you're sharing stories with them. Oh, dude, there was this one time your Theo and I were over here and this and that. We're laughing and drinking and that shit was on fire. We're like, oh my God. And it's all that type of shit. That's what it's about. So I want to make more time for those things. And another one, I guess my last one, because it's the last one on my list, but it was really the last thing I could think of. I didn't want to leave my career out, but I want to spend more time perfecting my craft. I want to put in more time, put in more work so I can constantly make and provide the best content and the best work that I can to all of my clients, whether it's with design, photography, cinema, anything like that. I want to make sure that I'm always at the top of my fucking game. So with my type, like I want to do more type exercises that I used to do a lot in college. And there was a reason why I did that. There was a reason why my mentors, I should say, would make me do. They would have me do all these exercises for branding and for type and for this and for that so that I could understand why I was doing it. Like my type mentor, Michael Stinson, he used to have me do these studies where he would have me print out pieces that I liked, whether it was by a graffiti artist or literally anyone, right? So could be like KK, could be Faust, anybody like that, Mike Giant. And he'd be like, I want you to trace this. And you would think, you know, tracing isn't shit, but he goes, no, I want you to trace it. And I want you to use proper tooling. You know, use your FCs and kind of get down and sit there with your pencil, sharpen it a certain way, understand, get down muscle memory and start, you know, learning how to do this, learn how to do that. Why? Because it helped me to understand letter form. And letter form is what this shit is all about. That's why I love type so much. Because it's not just type. It's not just letters. They have personalities. They carry something. That's why we use certain type to do certain things, right? Like, perfect example. People love Stranger Things, right? That typeface that was used for it, imagine they use something else. It doesn't hit the same, right? But you see Stranger Things and you see that type arrangement and you're like, Stranger Things. Right away, you have that association and you feel it. There's something about it in the way that it's shaped, the way the letter forms are, the neon, everything about it, the full treatment. And it's like, that's what type is all about. It's about evoking emotion. It's about evoking something in people so they can understand simply based on shape that you're about to get into some shit, right? Another really beautiful one, is Nosferatu. That film is something else, but the type is gorgeous and you already know. And that was the whole point behind it. It was designed and made to reflect the film. And it's like, okay, these are why, and this is why I need to jump into these exercises again and start understanding and learning and doing, because I want to become more familiar with certain aspects that I feel like I've not necessarily let go of, but I haven't put as much time as I used to. So I need to kind of get back to basics, if that makes sense. And I'm hoping that this year I get a lot more type work, because I did have a lot in 24, which was sick. Very, very fortunate. But this year I want more type shit. And I have a couple art projects that I'm going to be working on, which I'm really excited about. And I'm working on them for me, which is cool. That's even cooler, to be honest, because it's very rare that I get to make art just to make it because I want to do something. So the things that I have coming, I'm really excited to share with you guys, because I'll be sharing it on my personal Instagram. But it's going to be good. I feel like this is going to be a very good, transformative, art-filled, positive year. There's just something about it. Like I feel like it's going to be full of art and full of growth and full of understanding. And I'm here for it. And I'm hoping that next year, I would love to watch this back just to kind of process. Like, fuck, I wonder if all this is going to happen. Like, I wonder how it panned out. Because who knows, like, right? A lot can happen in a year. Career-wise, love, family, personal, with my mental health journey, all that. Automotive-wise, who knows where I'm going to be with all that? Because there's a lot that I'm going to be changing and kind of looking to change as well. So I guess we'll see. We'll see where it all ends up. So with all of this being said, right, we're coming up to the advice. And shouts to Serenity Scripts for this one. I love that page. They always have really great stuff, good vibes to put out. But they had these kind of like pointers for the new year. So I wanted to read those to you guys because I feel like it's great, like overall. And some of the things we've talked about today, so you're probably going to pick up on that. But these points that they have, prime. So take out your notepads, do what you got to do, write this shit down, whatever. Just keep them on deck because it's a good one. First, work on yourself for yourself. Baby steps still move you forward. You can't heal if you don't let yourself feel. Self-awareness is where your power lies. If you want to change your mindset, you have to change your habits. It's hard because it's unfamiliar, not because you're incapable. Never abandon yourself for the comfort of someone else. And lastly, the first step to living the life you want is believing in yourself. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. However it is that you like taking the podcast, whether you watch it, whether you listen, however, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, incredible weekend, amazing new year, and know that your boy loves you and appreciates every single thing that you guys do for me. So I will catch you guys on the next one.